Prepare for an adventure into the world of the ostrich, the feathery comedian of the animal kingdom. These aren't your average birds, folks. With their long, lanky legs and fluffy bodies, they're like a cross between a Vegas showgirl and a giraffe. And let's not forget those huge eyes, making them look perpetually surprised as if they've just remembered they left the oven on. Now you might think that with a top speed of 43 miles per hour, they'd be graceful creatures. But oh no, they're as clumsy as a toddler in roller skates. Watch as they stumble around, their wings flapping like they're trying to take off, but alas, they've been grounded for life. It's like watching a ballet, if the ballet was performed by chickens with their heads cut off. So now that you've met our long-legged stars, let's dive into their world of comedy. Ever seen an ostrich in a hurry? It's like watching a feathered torpedo with a questionable sense of direction. Now let's dive into the wild and wacky world of our feathered friends, the ostriches. These long-legged lads and lasses are not just the biggest birds on the block. They're also undisputed champions when it comes to creating chaos. Imagine a ballet dancer with 2 left feet. Now give them wings instead of arms and a beak where their head should be. Voila, you've got an ostrich on the run. The way they flap their wings, it's as if they're trying to take off, but alas, their aviation dreams are grounded by reality. And then there's the head bob. It's like they've got an internal beatbox going on, their heads bobbing to a rhythm only they can hear. You might think they're nodding in agreement, but don't be fooled, they're just keeping time with their personal jam. Ever seen an ostrich trip over its own feet? It's a sight to behold. It's as if they've forgotten they've got the longest legs in the bird kingdom. One minute they're strutting their stuff, the next they're sprawled on the ground looking bewildered, and let's not forget their interactions with the world around them. Picture this. An ostrich trying to peck at a butterfly, or racing a gust of wind, or just standing there staring at a tree with a look of profound confusion. It's like they've taken the phrase bird brain and turned it into a lifestyle. So next time you're having a rough day, just remember the ostrich. They remind us that it's okay to be a bit clumsy, a bit chaotic, and a bit weird. Because in the end, it's these quirks that make life interesting, and remember, in the world of ostriches, grace is overrated. Move over, Pavarotti, there's a new diva in town and she's got feathers. Behold the grand spectacle of the feathered opera, starring the one, the only, the ostrich. Now most people wouldn't peg an ostrich as the next big thing in the music scene, but let me tell you, their vocal range is nothing short of astonishing. First on the program, we have the soprano of the Savanna, the ostrich with the most rich, vocal cords, that is. Listen to that melodic warble, a sound that could rival the finest songbirds. Why, it's like a nightingale, if it had a 2-meter tall body and a penchant for pecking things. Now brace yourselves for the duet of the decade. Here come 2 tenor ostriches, harmonizing in a symphony of squawks and squabbles. Their performance is a bit cacophonous, but hey, it's all about artistic expression, right? Oh, and don't forget the bass section. That low, rumbling sound isn't an approaching thunderstorm, it's our very own basso profondo ostrich. His deep, resonant call can be heard for miles around, a testament to the sheer power of ostrich opera. But what's this? A surprise guest performance? It's a mezzo-soprano ostrich, joining in with her own unique chorus of clucks and caws. She might be a little off-key, but who are we to judge? After all, it's not every day you get to witness a full-blown ostrich aria. And for the grand finale, a chorus line of ostriches all belting out their distinctive calls in a riotous, feathery crescendo. It's a symphony of squawks, an orchestra of ostriches, well, you get the idea. So there you have it, folks, the ostrich opera in all its glory. It might not be Mozart, it might not be Beethoven, but it's certainly unique. And isn't that what true art is all about? Bravo, bravo. Who knew ostriches could hit such high notes? When an ostrich decides to dance, it's a sight you won't forget. Now, let's talk about the real stars of the show. Ostriches with rhythm. These feathered Fred Astaire's and Ginger Rogerses take to the dance floor, or rather, the African plains, with a flair that would put any professional dancer to shame. First up, we have the classic head bob. This move, reminiscent of a seasoned disco dancer, involves the ostrich bobbing its head up and down, side to side in a rhythm only they can hear. It's like the bird version of the Saturday Night Fever, only with more feathers and less Travolta. Next, we have the wing flap. This move is a lot like the Macarena, if you squint hard enough and have a good imagination. The ostrich flaps its wings in a rhythm that's almost hypnotic. Don't be surprised if you find yourself flapping along. Then there's the neck arch. This move could be a tribute to the Swan Lake Ballet if swans were 6 feet tall and covered in feathers. The ostrich arches its neck beautifully, a display of grace and flexibility that would make any ballerina green with envy. And who could forget the foot stomp? This is the ostrich's version of the Irish river dance. Only instead of a river, we have the African Savanna, and instead of Michael Flatley, we have a 200-pound bird. Lastly, the feather shake. Think of it as the ostrich's take on belly dancing. The ostrich shakes its feathers in a way that's both hilarious and oddly mesmerizing. It's Shakira meets Big Bird, and it's a sight to behold. So there you have it, the ostrich's dance repertoire. It's a mix of grace, rhythm, and a whole lot of hilarity. And the best part? They don't even need a disco ball or a dance floor. Just a wide open space, an audience, and their own inimitable style. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how an ostrich steals the show on the dance floor. In the Ostrich Olympics, the only rule is, there are no rules. Welcome folks to the most amusing sporting event known to birdkind, the Ostrich Olympics. Here, the athletes are flightless, the events are feathered, and the laughter is limitless. First up, we've got the 100-meter dash, or as the ostriches like to call it, I'm not running away, I'm just swiftly moving in another direction. Watch them go, folks. With those long legs, they could outpace a racehorse. And the form, it's something all right. Next we have the pecking power play. It's not about the number of pecks, it's about the style. The ostriches peck with such gusto, you'd think they're trying to dig their way to China. And the judges' scores are in. It's a perfect 10 for effort, but a 2 for precision. Now, on to the wing flap frenzy. Here, ostriches compete to see who can flap their wings the wildest. And folks, it's a sight to behold. It's like a dance party, but with more feathers and less rhythm. And finally, the most anticipated event of all, the head in sand hide and seek. In this event, ostriches demonstrate their unique version of out of sight, out of mind. And let me tell you, it's more out of mind than anything else. It's been a day of intense competition, but remember, in the Ostrich Olympics, everyone's a winner. Because let's face it, it's not about the gold medals. It's about the laughter, the joy, and the sheer ridiculousness of it all. So as we wrap up these games, let's take a moment to appreciate our athletes. From their goofy gaits to their pecking prowess, they've kept us entertained and left us in stitches. And the gold medal goes to every ostrich for making us laugh. As we bid farewell to our feathered friends, let's remember, ostriches may not fly, but they sure do make our spirits soar with laughter. From their debut in Ostrich 101, these goofy birds wowed us with their clumsy charm and their undeniable flair for the ridiculous. Who could forget the feathered fiasco, where a single misplaced step sent a flurry of feathers flying? Or the ostrich opera, where the harmonious hoots of our avian actors left us in stitches. Then there was the unforgettable Dance of the Dorks, a ballet of buffoonery that would make even the most seasoned prima ballerina blush. And let's not overlook the Ostrich Olympics, where the only thing more hilarious than the events was the commentary. Yes, my friends, these ostriches have given us a masterclass in mirth, a symphony of silliness. So next time you see an ostrich, remember, comedy comes in all shapes, sizes, and feathers.